the greatest supercomputer. No man-made computer can compare with the mind. Why? In the man-made computer, you have restriction. How many billion data it can store up. But in the mind, unlimited. So all the data that so this sanya, in the whole life is taking the notice. All this data will be in your mental stream, and you can recall them. Recall them. So when you try to remember, last year, so at Christmas time, what did I do? Where I go? So when you try to remember, so that means you are trying to recall this data. If they disappear, arise and they disappear, you will never remember them. Since you learn the vocabulary, father, mother, daddy, mommy, so since childhood, now you still remember. And then you learn many things in the primary school, middle school, high school, university. So all this you can remember because they are in your mental stream. If they arise and dissolve, then you will not remember. So all the data taken in one life are stored in the mental stream. And when you die, so we say, you die. When you die, we say your last consciousness is called dead consciousness. As soon as you die, you are born again. Rebirth consciousness arises in the new existence. No break in the mental stream. So all this data will be transmitted to the next life. So we have lived already uncountable number of existences. All the data that we have taken, these uncountable existences, they come up to now. They are up to here. So in our mental stream. So if you can remember them, so it will be very nice. If you have learned Abhidhamma before. Now when you can remember them, you just say a little, you know already. And that is the real case. The real case. I described in Karma the real creator. In the case of the Buddha, he can read your mind. When he can read your mind, he can know all this data. So he knows what you have done in past existences. He knows what have you learned, what have you been. So he even knows where you are going to be born of the dead, actually. Though he didn't tell you, he knows you. Like in the Karma, the creator, I described about the miracle man in America, by the name of Edgar Cayce. So this man, when he was hypnotized, so when you are hypnotized, you are the knowing mind doesn't work anymore. You don't know anything actually. But they say the unknowing mind is working. They say the subconscious mind is working. So just like the concentrating the mind. So when in hypnosis, he can look at a person to know all his past existences. Not all, we might say, several past existences he can see. He can see. And he can even tell you in the past existence what you have learned. What you have learned. So I give an example there. So there is a lady in New York. She is the telegraph operator, telegram. So in the past, they use telegram. So many people are asking, they call it life readings, life readings about your life. So from this Edgar Cayce, and Edgar Cayce send back the answer. So she become interested, she asked for. She asked for her life reading also. In 1 week, the answer came. So when the answer came, so that means you don't need to go to Edgar Cayce. You just give your name and your address where you are. Under hypnosis, he can go to your place and can see you, can see your mind, can diagnose your whole body. He can cure many diseases. And now, in the life reading, it said, You are wasting your time as telegraph operator. You are wasting your time now. You have been very successful commercial artist in several past lives. You can be one again if you try now. That's all. So, she has no idea about the art. She no interest about the art. Now when she read this, I better try, she said. So she enrolled in the art school, and after attending just a few lectures, she knows everything about painting, commercial painting. And she became a very successful commercial artist again. So you can see, So Ekagisi can see those storage of the memory, but just by looking at that, he can see several past existences. And in Myanmar at present, I have a student. He is a university graduate, and he works as a photographer. He opens a shop of photography. And at one time he went for meditation retreat, and he can develop up to a certain concentration. Then when he gets this concentration, he comes to know how to paint and how to make sculpting. So when he came home, he started painting. And his paintings are very, very good paintings. People come and buy them. And he can make sculpting also. Very beautiful, the objects that he made. So that means all what you have learned before is now in you, but you forget it. You forget it. It is not the strain that you forget it. It asks you, what are the food you eat 7 days ago? You will not be able to say. So you forget. So you forget. But now when you get the concentration, you can recall very well the past. Then you can know the past knowledge. That's why the people are different. Like in the case of I, just by reading Abhidhamma, I understand. So for you it takes a little difficulty. So in meditation also, some people they progress very quickly. They can attain jhana in 1 week. Very easy. They don't need to meditate very, very hard. So that means they have already developed jhana in the past existence. So this is how the sanya operates. So very interesting actually. Okay. Please look at your book again. So in the topic sanya, the second paragraph of sanya, the whole group of perceptions, past, present, future, one's own and external, is designated as sanyakanda, perception aggregate, which is also one of the 5 groups of existence. So as sanya, perception is very important. It is also grouped together as an aggregate of existence. So that means all the sanya that exists in the whole universe are taken as the aggregate of perception. Now we go to number 4, Cetana volition. Cetana coordinates its concomitants. Now when we say its concomitants, you should understand, it means consciousness and other mental factors that arise together with Cetana. So that is called concomitant. Now it coordinates its concomitants and it acts like a chief disciple or like a farm owner who fulfills his duties and regulates the work of others as well. It prompts its concomitants to do their respective functions to accomplish each action. Cetana acts on its concomitants, acts in getting the object, and acts in accomplishing the task. Thus, it determines each action. So actually this Cetana is the most important mental factor in the mundane world, in the Lokiya Chitta, mundane consciousness. It is the most important. No? Now, Chaitana, we say it acts like a chief disciple. So like in a class of students, we have a monitor who is a leader there. So when the teacher comes, so he will give the command, please all get up. So when the teacher comes in, please greet the teacher. Good morning, teacher. So he also asks other people to say. Now, for example, in building a house, so the chief engineer, he regulates all the work of other engineers and carpenters. You do this work, you do this work, you do this work. So he works his own part, and he also asks others to do their own part. Then the house is finished. So when the house is finished, when the people ask, who built this house? So what would be the answer? Would you say, oh, many carpenters, you don't say, the chief engineer, he built this house. So you say like that. So the same thing, Chaitana is responsible for performing each action. It is responsible. Because of Chaitana, each action is accomplished. So, for example, we say, a mosquito bites you, so you get painful. When you get painful, when you know that the dosa mula chitta will arise, then the chitta knows, oh, a mosquito is biting me, and now I am painful feeling. So dosa, anger arises. So we say anger is the most destructive element. Destructive element, not constructive. It always gives the order. We must kill this mosquito. It is biting me very painfully. We must kill it. But it cannot bring about the action to kill the mosquito. It is the Chaitana that associates with this anger. Remember, dosa is a mental factor, and Chaitana arises in all the mind, we say. So Chaitana also is present there. So when this Chaitana associates with dosa, anger, it becomes angry volition. Chaitana, we also give the meaning, volition. Volition or intention. Two meaning, volition and intention. So it is the Chaitana that sets the motive to kill the mosquito. Now we must kill the mosquito. Then Chaitana prompts, it's concomitant. It concomitants means consciousness and mental factors. Now you do your job. We must kill the mosquito. So it prompts. So consciousness. So it moves the hand. Consciousness, actually it's a consciousness that moves our hand. In meditation you can see consciousness produces mind-born materiality. And that mind-born materiality, moves this hand. So the material, they arise here and they dissolve here. And then the next material will arise a little here, a little further here, and dissolve. And then another material here. So we think that the hand is moving. Actually, it is a material arising, dissolving, rising, dissolving, rising, dissolving. Because even in one snap of the hand. So we say 1,000 billion minds can arise and dissolve. And 58 billion material can arise and dissolve one after another in one snap of the hand. So that means in one snap of the hand, the material that arises there, they dissolve there. So they say the material do not move. Because of the consciousness, it produces new materiality. A little further, so the hand seems to be moving. And then smashes, and the mosquito dies. Now, the question is, who kills the mosquito? Now you would say, oh, the hand. Since you killed, you smash mosquito, you are the killer. So the hand would say, I cannot move by myself. So if you put me down like here, I would just stay like this. I cannot move. It is consciousness that moves me, so I move. I don't know what I'm doing. So you say, oh, you are not the real killer. Consciousness, you move the hand, you are the killer. Then consciousness would say, I am just aware of the mosquito bite. I have no intention to kill it. Now Chaitanya asks me to swing the hand, so I swing it. So who is the real killer? Chaitanya, no? And that's why the Buddha said, no? So the next paragraph, no, we gave you, no, the Chaitanya acts on its concomitants, acts in getting the object. So in knowing each object, no, also the Chaitanya is the main thing, and acts in accomplishing the task. Thus, it determines action. So in Anguttara Nikaya, the Buddha made a remark, volition is action, karma. Thus I say, O monks, for as soon as volition arises, one does the action, be it by body, speech, or mind. So we can perform an action 3 ways: bodily action, verbal action, mental action. So in all these actions, volition is not the main thing. The main thing. So, volition is called, volition is identified with the action. Because of volition, each action is accomplished. Without volition, this action will not arise. So this volition and action is made to be identical. So Buddha said, volition is the action. The action means karma in Pali. So we say, volition is karma that I call, O monks. So as soon as volition arises and prompts is concomitant, then you perform an action, either bodily action, verbal action, or mental action. So when we are saying karma, it is actually the property of volition, the property of volition. So again, volition is very, very important. Now this karma, now you should understand, when you are smashing a mosquito there, if you take, say 2 snaps of the hand and smash it, then in 1 snap of the hand, how many minds arise and dissolve? 1,000 billion. So that means 2,000 billion. So in each mind, volition is present. So there are 2,000 billion volitions arise. And this volition, why it arises, it prompts its concomitant to do their job, to kill. So then, so it dissolves. And when it perishes, it leaves behind its potential property in the mental stream again, in the next mind. So just as before, sanya, we say it leaves, its data. When it dissolves, it transmits it to the next mind. And when the next mind dissolves, that mind also transmits it again to the next mind. And it also transmits its, the perception data to the next mind. So in this way, we say perception is always, the data always remain there. The same thing when volition dissolves, that volition prompting all these, its concomitant to perform the action. So that property, volition itself dissolve, disappear. But the potential energy, you might say, potential energy is transmitted to the next arising mind. So when the next arising mind, it also has volition, it also performs its action. Then when it dissolves, the previous, the karma property, as well as this new karma property, is transmitted to the next mind again. So all this karma property will remain in the mind. You can understand? Just like the data, the perception in uncountable existence in our mental stream. The same thing, the property of this volition in uncountable existence, they are transmitted from life to life, so up to the present. So that we say, if you perform an evil action, so when you perform evil action, that means immoral karma will arise, and the karma will follow you. Will follow you Just they say in Dhammapada, just like the wheels of the cart follow the footsteps of the oxen that draws the cart. So it always follow you, and it will produce its effect whenever it has the chance to do so. No, that is how karma is arising. No, so when we perform an immoral action, billions of good karma are deposited in the mental stream. When we perform evil action, even in smashing a mosquito, billions of bad karma are deposited in your mental stream. No, so both this chetana and its property in the mental stream are called karma. So to differentiate it, because this volition that performs the action is called co-nation karma. Co-nation means they arise together with the mind and with the action. And this is called the asynchronous karma. Asynchronous karma. Because this karma arises at one time and it will produce its effect in the next time. And because of this we call it asynchronous. Not simultaneous, it is asynchronous karma. So we are born again and again because of this karma. Karma produces the new existences. The bad karma will produce the new existence in the woeful state, and the good karma will produce the existence in the blissful realm, And we are different, each of us, because the karma that we perform are different. Because the karmas are different, now we are different. So karma is the law of justice, universal justice. So it is not the God who is giving the judgment. It is the karma that determines your fate and destiny. Now karma is compared with the seeds, not the plant seeds. As like a mango seed can give rise to a mango tree, and then like an apple seed can give rise to an apple tree. The same thing we say, immoral karma will give rise a woeful existence, and then the good karma will produce a blissful existence. Now again, when you get this seed, the seed produces the tree, it bears fruits, and when the fruits drop down and then all the flesh are eaten, then the many seeds are left behind again. The same thing we say, each karma produce an existence, and in this existence you perform many actions, so many karmas will be deposited again. So how this karma produce the new existence? Now for ourselves, we have many karma in our mind now, both good karmas and bad karmas. And at the time of death, how this karma will determine our next existence, our fate and destiny. These will be explained in chapter 5. As this karma is the property of chetana is a component of the mind, so we say it is the mind that creates all living beings. Karma creates all living beings, so in other words, you say the mind creates all living beings. Now, on page 67, the second line there, excluding Vedana and Sanya, all the remaining 50 mental factors, with Chetana as the foremost, is designated as Sankhara Khanda, formations aggregate, which is also one of the 5 groups of existence. So, each consciousness arises, accompanied by this mental factor. Remember, these 7 mental factors, they always associate together. And maybe like in the moral mind, we say up to 34 mental factors will arise together with the Mahakusala Chaita. So in this consciousness, Vedana is called the feeling sensation, and it represents the feeling aggregate. Sanya represents the perception aggregate. And the remaining mental factors, how many may be present? Up to 50. altogether 52. So if you take 2, the remaining mental factors. So they are grouped together also, and they are called the aggregate of mental formations. Formations mean the mentality, actually the Cetasika. So we say, when mental factors are grouped into aggregates, we get 3 mental aggregates. So what are these 3 mental aggregates? The feeling aggregate, the perception aggregate, and the formations aggregate. Okay. Now we go to number 5, ekagata, one-pointedness. Now it means one-pointedness of the mind, and also means concentration. In Pali we call samadhi. Now ekagata focuses the citta and its concomitants on one object. It prevents its adjuncts. Its adjuncts here means its concomitants from dissipation or from dispersing, and fixes them on the one object. It is similar to water that binds together several substances to form one concrete mass. It is like a firmly fixed pillar that cannot be shaken by the storm. And we have also seen that ekagata is one jhana factor, and when it is developed by meditation, it becomes concentration like samadhi. And it is the seat of all attentive, selected, focused, or concentrated consciousness. Now I will explain to you, so that you understand better. So the ekagata is also essential to focus our mind on each sense object. If we don't have this ekagata or concentration, then we cannot perform any action actually. For example, you are taking a spoonful of food, and you are bringing it to the mouth. Now, while you are bringing it to the mouth, one person comes into the room. So if you look at that person, what happened? The eating action must stop. If it does not stop, if you just bring it the spoon, you will put it in your nose. So that means even eating one spoonful of the food, you need concentration. During this time, your mind must be concentrated on this action of taking the food. So the same day now you are paying attention. So you need concentration. If you don't have the concentration, then your mind will be wandering. So wandering, you're thinking about that, thinking about that, thinking about that, so you don't know anything. And when this concentration, the ekagata, is developed by meditation, now we say when you attain the jhana concentration, the mind becomes very powerful. And you can even develop up to supernormal power, because it concentrates the mind becomes very powerful. So we say, the ekagata harmoniously, unites consciousness and other mental factors, unites them together and fix them on the sense object. That is ekagata. So number 6, jivitendriya. We call it psychic life. Jivitendriya is a combination of 2 terms, jivita and indriya. Jivita means life. Indriya means controlling faculty. It is called jivita because it sustains its concomitants. It is called indriya because it controls its concomitants. Just as lotuses are sustained by water and an infant by inust, so are mental concomitants sustained by jivitendriya. So we call it psychic life. Psychic refer to the mind, mental life you might say. It is the life of mentality, the life of consciousness and mental factors. We might say that. So this jivitendriya, it arises together with each consciousness. And it will sustain its concomitant. That means both consciousness and other mental factors to last throughout their lifespan. Throughout their lifespan. So in that way, the jivita is controlling the life of its concomitant. So without jivita indriya, these consciousness mental factors, as soon as they arise, they will perish. If they soon arise and perish, they cannot perform their action. So you cannot do any action, you cannot eat, you cannot breathe, you die. So that means if jivita, this life is cut off, the jivita, so you are also dead. You are also dead. So in that way it controls the lifespan. Now we say this jivita indriya, it sustains life. So we compare with the lotuses growing in a pond. If there is water in the pond, so the lotus plants will be flourishing. Now if the water dries up, what happens? These lotus plants will die. The same thing, and because of that we might say, oh, water is the light of this plant. Because of water they are flourishing. The same thing in the conscious and mental factors. They are alive because the jivita indriya is present. So if there is no jivita indriya, they die. Because of that we call it psychic life, the light of mentality. So it is also important. So when we say we have our life, we have our life, it is because jivita indriya is arising one after another. Now when the karma produces the new existence, like the kusala karma, mahakusala karma, it produces a new existence, it will produce the resultant consciousness, mahavipaka chaita, one after another. Throughout your life, this karma will produce this mahavipaka chaita one after another. So when mahavipaka chaita arises, all the mental factors that should arise together with will arise together. And also the karma, at the same time, it produces karma-born materiality. Mind, we say karma-born materiality. And this materiality is very important in ours. And this karma-born materiality also contains light materiality. We call jivita rupa, light materiality. So this is karma. So when it produces the mahavipaka chaita and the kamaja rupa, you have 5 aggregates. How do you get it? So when you get mahavipaka chaita, the chaita, one after another, these chaitas are called consciousness aggregate. And the mental factors, you have 3 mental aggregates, so 4 mental aggregates. And this materiality, kamaja rupa, and then the materiality, they are called materiality aggregate. So these 5 aggregates constitute a person, a living being. So the karma produces each consciousness and the karma-born materiality. Every conscious moment it's producing. So it produces 5 aggregates, we are born. So when these dissolve, we die. And then this karma produce again another 5 aggregates. We are born again. And then we die, born, die, we say. And it is momentary, we call momentary death, krika marana. So when we finally die, so no more vipaka chaita will arise, and no more karma-born material will arise. So that means both jivita rupa, the jivita indriya and jivita rupa, mental life and the physical life, material life are cut off. So we say we die in this life. So we go to number 7, manasikara, attention, reflection. We give 2 meanings at the meaning. Now we read a little. Please read. Manasikara is the mind's first confrontation with an object and directs the associated mental concomitants to the object. It is therefore the prominent factor in two avajana chetas, namely Pancha Dwara Vajana Cheta and Mano Dwara Vajana Cheta, that is 5-door directing consciousness and mind-door directing consciousness. These two consciousness breaking through the light continuum, Bhavinga stream, form the first stage in the cognitive process. Cognition process is the process to know each sense object. Now the next one is quite good. As the rudder of a ship directs her to her destination, so Manasikara directs the Cheta and its concomitants towards the sense objects. Without Manasikara, the mind is like a rudderless ship and it cannot be aware of each sense object. So, Manasikara is quite important again. So we say, when we talk about the consciousnesses, we say there are two avajana cheta. Pancha dwara vajana is 5-door directing consciousness. So if any sense object appears in one of the 5 door, it is pancha dwara vajana. That first confront or take notice of the sense object. So even the sense object may appear together in the 5 sense door. For example, when you're watching the television, so the visible object appears in the eye, and the voice, the sound appears in the ear, and then your contact with your seat appears in the body. So if you're maybe some fragrance smell in the nose. So if you're chewing something, the taste, so all the 5 objects can appear together. But Manasikara will take only one thing at a time. You can know only one thing at a time. If the Manasikara confronts or take notice of the sense object in the eye, you see that object. When it takes notice of the object that appears in the ear, you hear the voice. So when you watch the movie, you think you are seeing and hearing at the same time. But when you see, you don't hear. When you hear, you don't see. But as we say, even in one snap of the hand, the 1,000 billion consciousness arises. Seeing consciousness, the hearing consciousness, they arise very quickly. So we think they are arising simultaneously. So, though we say this Pancha Dwara Vajana is not taking notice of each sense object so that we can know each sense object. If 5 sense objects appear and then we say the brain goes, the signal goes to the brain and the brain gives the answer, then it would be the complicated 5 sense object. Like we say, we compare the Pancha Dwara Vajana with the wavelength selector of a radio or the television. So the many stations are broadcasting. So the picture, the voices are striking the antenna at the same time. So if they appear at the same time, all the station, if the voices appear together, what happened? You don't know anything. So all mix up. So you have to wavelength selector, one wavelength, what is frequency and what the wavelength, then you can know each one. So that Pancha Dwara Vajana perform like that. So though we say Pancha Dwara Vajana confronts the sense object, actually it is Manasikara that is present in this Pancha Dwara Vajana confronts the sense object. And the same thing, mind or the mind or directing consciousness, Mano Dwara Vajana, confronts the sense object, take notice of the sense object that appears in the mind door. So again it is Manasikara that take notice and confronts the sense object. And when it takes this, then it also directs the mental stream, the subsequent mind to take this sense object. so that we compare it, this manasikara, with the rudder of a ship. So in a ship, the rudder is very important. To go to that city, so you with the rudder, should point the way so that you can go there. Otherwise, you're going that way, the other direction, you will never get there. So the same thing, there's manasikara. When it takes notice of that all the other consciousness also take notice of this sense object, so we can be aware of it. So, as we say, the eye consciousness, it just arises for a moment and sees the object. We don't see it yet. So it should be other consciousness that might arise. So of the eye consciousness, we say Panchadwa Adi Sambadechana Cheta. Receiving consciousness, remember? Jakku Vinyana, and then after that the Sambadechana, receive the object, and then the Sandirana, investigate it, and then Mano Dwaravajana, determine whether it's good or bad, and only then we know the sense object roughly, and we enjoy it. If the sense object is beautiful, Lopa Mula Chita, we enjoy with it. And it is painful, Dosa Mula arises, we enjoy it. So, a series of consciousness arises in knowing each consciousness. So manasikara is like the rudder, is very important. I even forget where we get to. On page 68. Please, we shall read the 2 paragraphs there. In a more general sense, manasikara appears frequently in the sutta. The discourses given by the Buddha is called the sutta. As yoniso manasikara, wise attention or wise reflection, and ayoniso manasikara, unwise attention or unwise reflection. Wise attention leads to moral consciousness, whereas unwise attention leads to immoral consciousness. Now, to do wise reflection, again, you need wisdom. Without wisdom, you cannot make wise reflection. In the case, for example, a mosquito bites you, we say, it is painful, so dosa mula cheta arises. So, the dosa is destructive, so it says we must kill the mosquito. Now the chetana that associate with the dosa become angry chetana, so it set the motive to kill and you perform the killing action. That is unwise reflection. Now the same thing when you come across some people the money handbag with many money, again lopa mula cheta arises. A lot of money, you should take it. So then if you make unwise reflection, then the volition that associate with this lopa becomes greedy volition now. So it set the action to steal it, so you steal it. So you are doing the evil actions here because of unwise reflection. Now when you have the wisdom, the knowledge of karma and result, we are explaining to you. So the Buddha said, don't kill, abstain from killing any living being, because if you kill one person, one living being, you will be killed a billion times. I also give you the illustration with the Madina, remember? So if you know that, if I kill this mosquito, I have to be killed many times, so I better don't kill it. And the Buddha said, just by abstaining from killing, then moral minds arise by billions, and then you will get billions of good karma, and this karma will produce blissful existence in many existence. So when you have this wisdom, then the wisdom say you should not kill. You should not kill. So your reflection, we say, we should not kill the mosquito. We should let it go. We should develop loving kindness, and let it go and live happily. So you abstain from killing. As soon as you so the Chaitanya, not that time. So because it associates with the wisdom, it becomes wise Chaitanya. So we say, oh, we must abstain from killing. So the action of abstaining of the killing is accomplished. So you develop many moral minds, you get good karma. The same thing with the stealing there. Again, if you have the wisdom, you steal other people's property, then the bad karma will arise by many billions, and you have to be born as woeful ghosts with nothing to eat, nothing to live on. So for many existence. So you should not take it. Now, if you don't take it during that time, by giving back this money to the possessor, billions of moral minds will arise, and then you can enjoy many blissful and rich existence in the future. So if we have that wisdom, no, I should not take it. So you make the reflection, we should not take it. We should give it back to the owner. So if you do that, then the volition perform the meritorious deed of abstaining from stealing, then you get a lot of good karma. So that is what is doing. To get wise reflection is very important. So when we say, some people say, now if you don't kill the mosquito, so the mosquito causes malaria. So you are spreading malaria. In that case, how can we get rid of malaria? So if they have only that, not that knowledge, they saying, abstaining from killing mosquito is wrong. So killing is correct to prevent the malaria, they say. So they don't know there's karma and property. So by smashing the mosquito, you cannot get rid of all the mosquitoes. In the Indonesia and even in Myanmar, we have a lot of mosquitoes. Indonesians are smashing the mosquito every day, but still you have a lot of mosquitoes. But in Malaysia and Singapore, I have been there several times. No mosquito. No mosquito. We are close country. No mosquito today. So, do they kill all the mosquito? No, they don't have to kill. What do they do? Where the mosquito breed in stagnant water. So they make the rule. There should be no stagnant water in any house. All the water pots and pans should be covered, and no water in the ditch. So when they make that, no mosquito. So that should be the way. Prevention is better than killing and curing. So that is the wise reflection is very important. So the next topic on page the 68 describes the significance of essential mental practice and how they take part in knowing each sense object. So the consciousness cannot be aware of a sense object without these the essential mental practice. Manasikara, take notice of the sense object, confronts the sense object, and then it directs the mental stream towards that sense object. And then Chaitanya prompts on its concomitant conscious and mental practice to do their respective job to be aware of the sense object. Then Phassa makes the contact between sense object and consciousness to get the impression, and then also produce the feeling. And Vedana enjoys that feeling, and Sanya take notice of the detailed features of the sense object. And then Jivitendriya, so only our Ekagata unites consciousness, mental factor on that one object. Otherwise, your mind would be dispersing and going to several sense objects. You would know the sense object. And also Jivitendriya, sustain them to be alive, to do their respective function. So without them, consciousness cannot be aware of the sense object. So now we now understand These 7 essential mental factors are very, very essential for us and very, very important to us. Tea break. So now it's 3:40. So we should get together at 4:10. So we can continue our Abhidhamma teaching now. So we have the chart of jade seekers. No? So in this chart, the 52 jade seekers are divided into 3 groups. So we have 13 anyasamana, neutral mental factors, 14 akusala jade seekers, immoral mental factors, and 25 sobhana jade seekers, beautiful mental factors. And the neutral mental factors are again subdivided into 2 subgroups. We call this sabhajeta, sadharana, essential mental factors that associate with all consciousnesses. So their name, can you read? Phassa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Ekakata, Jivitendriya, Manasikara. So the way we remember these 7 mental factors is just to note Phat, Ve, San, Je, E, Jimana. So if you say Phat, no Phassa, Ve, Vedana, San, Sanya, Je, Chetana, Ekakata, and Ji, Jivitendriya, Mana, Manasikara. And now we have 6 particular, we call Pakinnaka jade seekers. So 3 of them we already have seen. Vitaka, Vichara, Piti. No, they are jhana factors. So Vitaka, Vichara, Piti here. So we will have the next 3 is Adhimokkha, Virya, and Chanda. So we'll talk about them. Now, at the bottom of page 68, we describe these particular mental factors. So, let's read the meaning first. At the bottom, 1 is vittaka, initial obligation or thought conception. Vichara, sustained obligation or discursive thinking. Adhimokkha, decision or determination. Virya, effort or energy or exertion. Piti, rapture or interest. Chanda, wish, desire or will. So in piti, you should add one meaning. Rapture, interest, and joy. Joy, we also usually we translate it as joy. Now on page 69, we try to explain each of these mental factors. So vittaka is initial obligation. It applies the consciousness and mental factors onto a sense object. Actually, vittaka can apply the mind towards various sense objects. If vittaka applies our mind to our house, you think about the house. It applies to your friend, you think about that friend. So we also call it thought conception. It initiates a thought. If you are having so many thoughts, then that means your vittaka is applying too many sense objects.